Audio Jungle.
Government senator urges public to wear blue in support of police amid JFJ protests. Government senator and senior member of the Jamaica Labour Party's Communications Task Force, Marlon Morgan, is calling on Jamaicans for all walks of life to stand in solidarity with the Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF and its members by wearing blue on Tuesday, today, with the planned protest from Jamaicans for Justice protests against an alarming rise in police killings in the country. In a news release on Monday, Senator Morgan said, given the scourge of criminality, and in particular, violent crime with which Jamaicans have had to grapple with over the years, there can be no denying that our policemen and women work under very tough and trying situations. The efforts and energies of all well-thinking and law-abiding Jamaicans should be focused on supporting and encouraging our hardworking policemen and women, not tearing them down. It is quite heartening and should not be overlooked that a culture of accountability is increasingly being fostered by the JCF and professionalism is being prioritized through ongoing human rights training and sensitization, he continued. When one considers the advent of INDECOM, IPROBE, and Police Civilization Oversight Authority and other internal administrative protocols, there are greater mechanisms to hold the police to account and safeguard the public against police excesses today than at any other time in history in this country. JFG says its planned demonstration aims to spotlight the escalating crisis of the police fatal shooting in Jamaica and demand accountability, justice, and systematic reform. More than 100 individuals have been killed by police since the start of the year, way more double than of the same period in 2024. Noting that 36.6% reduction in murders up to April 26 this year when compared to the corresponding period last year, Senator Morgan asserts, while the JCF and its members are not above criticism, at a time when Jamaica is registering historic and welcome reduction in murders and other major crimes, the interests of the country will be better served by constructively criticizing the police instead of tearing them down. I am urging well-thinking and law-abiding Jamaicans to rally behind the police and motivate them by wearing blue on Tuesday, April 29. At the same time, I am imploring the public to shun actions and utterances that may serve as demoralized and demotivate the police, Morgan noted, adding, a demoralized and demotivated JCF can only serve to advance the interests of meeting criminals in our society, and not the vast majority of us who want to see the police winning the fight against criminality and sustaining the prevailing reduction in murders in our beloved country.
It is quite heartening and should not be overlooked that a culture of accountability is increasingly being fostered by the JCF and professionalism is being prioritized through ongoing human rights training and sensitization. When one considers the advent of INDECOM, IPROBE, the Police Civilian Oversight Authority, as well as other internal administrative protocols, there are greater mechanisms to hold the police to account and safeguard the public against police excesses today than there has been at any time previously in the history of this country. While the JCF and its members are not above criticism, at a time when Jamaica is registering historic and welcomed reductions in murders and other major crimes, the interest of the country will be better served by constructively criticizing the police instead of tearing them down. I am urging well-thinking and law-abiding Jamaicans to rally behind the police and motivate them by wearing blue on Tuesday, April 29. At the same time, I'm imploring the public to shun actions and utterances that may serve to demoralize and demotivate our policemen and women. A demoralized and demotivated JCF can only serve to advance the interests of the menacing criminals in our society and not the vast majority of us who want to see the police winning the fight against the criminals and sustaining the prevailing reduction in murders in our beloved country.
Some roadways flooded by Monday afternoon rain in Spanish Town. Heavy rainfall in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, resulted in the flooding of several roadways Monday afternoon. Along sections of Pritchett Avenue, several vehicles stalled in the torrential rain, which overwhelmed the road and drainage system. Floodwaters caused a vehicle to crash at McCoy Lands along the corridor. Many vehicles diverted while others tried to navigate the single-lane access, which resulted from flooding of one side of the road. Areas such as St. John's Road and Job's Lane were also inundated by rain. Crawford concerned about power granted to Education Minister by JTC bill. Opposition Senator Damon Crawford has expressed concern about the power of the recently approved Jamaica Teaching Council bill grants the Minister of Education. The bill was approved with some amendments in the Upper House on Friday after more than 2 decades of deliberation. It will return to the Lower House for further approval before being sent to the Governor General. Speaking in the Upper House, Senator Crawford, who is also opposition spokesperson on education, said the bill gives the Education Minister too much authority. He sought to explain the areas of concern. He expressed fear that a future education minister who is not reasonable might use the JTC Act as a tool.
The minister seemed to have too much power, and while it is that this minister is there and seemed to be a kind-hearted and reasonable person, one day the senator at the back might become the minister, God forbid.
God forbid.
And therefore the risk becomes great. But the minister appoints all members, some based on recommendation, no legal requirement to accept nominations, no obligation to explain rejections, no transparency exists within the bill as it relates to what goes forward. The ministerial discretion therefore seems unchecked within the bill, and professional groups can be treated more as symbolic than with any real power, as there is no need to accept. It enables political favoritism, and it weakens trust, we believe, in the bill. The JTC Council can become a tool to the minister or a tool to the decision makers that exist. And so we feel that especially the JTA's recommendation, that there should be reason given if it is rejected, and they should then be asked to make new recommendations, and only their recommendations can be the teachers on the bill.
National Security Council to boost public order and citizen security. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness has issued a directive to the Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF to redouble its effort to increase community outreach, reinforce professional standards in interactions with the public, and reinforce strict adherence and compliance with the use of force policies for its members. Holness, who is the chair of the National Security Council, at its regular monthly meeting on Thursday, April 24, commended the security forces and particularly the JCF for the 37.6% reduction in murders. The Council received reports from the national security agencies, the Jamaica Defense Force JDF, JCF, and the Major Organized Crime and Anti-Corruption Agency MOCA, and reviewed the implementation of various security strategies and programs. The JCF reported a 12% increase in illegal firearms seized at the ports of entry to date. Meanwhile, MOCA reported that it has intensified its prosecution of several criminal networks, including those involved in cybercrimes, and is pursuing over 40 cases in the courts. The agency said it continues to develop its expertise and receive an international award and recognition from the International Association of Law Enforcement Intelligence Analysis. The JDF has also reported a heightening operational stance in limiting trafficking opportunities for people, drugs and guns in the waters between Jamaica and Haiti. The JDF has completed one deployment of personnel in support of the multinational security mission in Haiti and is now in its second rotation. The Council said it is determined that these successes must be maintained and mainstreamed in all areas of citizen security and citizen safety in public spaces. The Council also discussed the hazard posed by windscreen wipers and also certification of major intersection and the increasing threat to life and property posed by mental ill people on the street. To address this dimension of security and safety, the National Security Council said it would convene all responsible agencies including local government, Heart NSTA, and Health Wellness to develop a comprehensive and sustainable plan. To subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.